It's a snowy early morning on Friday, January 20th, 2012. Papyrus is currently receiving some inspection by new Chief of Steam Operations, Roy Stafford, before she hauls the first steam-powered freight in this part of Arizona since 1954. The last steam locomotive to haul freight on the former Apache Railway line was 282 number 300, a logging Mikado that was built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in 1919. Contractors at White Mountains Lumber, Inc. assigned the Gressley Pacific to haul 6 log cars, transferred from 6 different trucks that couldn't make the journey south. But before we begin, here's our interview with Mr. Stafford.
Good morning. My name is Roy Stafford, and I'm the Chief of Steam Locomotive Operations at the McNary Railroad. When we bought Papyrus back in 2010, she was in a state of disrepair. The only thing that could save her was our time and effort. Our employees worked as hard as we could to get this A3 Pacific back on track. However, the previous chief at the time of steam locomotive operations didn't want another steam engine running. Why? Because he deemed them too dirty. He did make an attempt to sell Papyrus for scrap. However, once the CEO, Wallace Fitzgerald, found out, he was not pleased and immediately fired him. So, he was looking for some new men, and he looked towards me. He said, "Roy, I know how much you like steam engines. Why don't you take over?" Eventually, we had a little vote, and I won, 62% of the vote. I was that popular with crews. Ever since 2011, late 2011 that is, Papyrus is officially now back on track. And hopefully, with this inaugural break and run, we can see how she performs on the main line without assistance. And hopefully, she becomes our new steam excursion star. As our little 060 switcher, she's down for an inspection, and we deemed that she couldn't handle the excursion, so we're going to actually retire the old 060 and place her on display. And Papyrus will be her replacement.
Our journey begins in Overgard, Arizona, where our train makes its way eastbound over the McNary Railroad's Tonto branch, with it passing through Shello to merge onto the former Apache main line southbound to Pinetop Lakeside, and arriving at the Hondah yards, a distance of 50 miles without diesel assistance.
3750 southbound to Hondah. Highball.
Our train is just a mile away from the Honda yards, as it's making a servicing stop before it proceeds. Revenue freight hauled by steam locomotives is a rare sight in the 21st century, and very few railroads practice it. If any of you are curious about why there is a tank car and a boxcar behind the 2750, they're used as an auxiliary water tender for less water stops and a tool car for all the wrenches and hammers needed to adjust rods and valves of the locomotive.
South, this is dispatch. Are you pulling into the general offices, over? Yes, this is 2750 South. We're heading into the general offices to make a report, over. Very well. Just back her up slowly. Make sure to not run into anything. Over and out. Larry, 10-4, over and out, 2750. Thank you.
Papyrus has finally finished her break-and run, and made history today as well. The logs were delivered on time and safely to the Honda yards, awaiting to be cut and sawed down into paper or wooden furniture. Despite the A3 Pacific being designed for passenger service, many of them were used for fast freight following dieselization on British railways back in the 1960s, when Delta locomotives took their express duties. Papyrus would also make headlines in the local newspaper, White Mountain Independent, titled, "Steam Trains Return on the White Mountain Line in 36 Years," projecting a new era of the Iron Horse had officially commenced. This train to Prescott, Arizona is a multi-day rendezvous over 250 miles of track over 4 different railroads, and will require multiple overnight stops, including the BNSF Drake yards. While it slows down time on the trip, it's economical for servicing and refueling of the steam locomotive. It may be weeks away, but the festival will be starting very soon.